It is not your responsibility as a military wife to do those things. It is the husband's responsibility. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking to you about life after I do. If you are not a current subscriber and you have been watching my videos, please go ahead and subscribe right now. I know sometimes people forget, but go ahead and subscribe right now so you can be a part of my awesome channel family. For those of you who have been subscribed, this is the first time that I have done a video, like a sit down video with my Invisalign in, so I'm gonna do so many mess ups in this video. But anyways, if you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for supporting this channel, and I love you guys so much. So anyways, this video is a requested video, and it's a couple different requested videos about adjusting to military lifestyle after you get married, and also like how processing works, and like a whole bunch of different requested videos that I've kind of just piled up into one video, which is life after I do. Okay, so if you guys know a little bit about me and Connor's story, then you know how we got married and all that jazz. If you don't know, then I'll tell you right now. A little bit about our story is we actually got married while I was still in college, and we lived apart our first year of marriage. It's not something that I would recommend you do. It was really, really hard, but looking back on it, I feel like God definitely did some work in our marriage to prepare us for who we are today. However, we did live apart and it was really hard, so again, would not recommend. So as for preparation of becoming a wife, I've gotten a lot of emails about like DEERS and paperwork and BAH and TRICARE and like all of those different things that you need to do to become a military wife, or to kind of like get all the benefits of being a military wife. And the first thing that you definitely need to do is DEERS, because that puts you in the system of being a military wife. But one thing that I do want to say, and this really like comes from a heart of love towards you guys, because I do love you guys and I love your emails that you give me, but I do get a lot of emails of stress and anxiety over DEERS and over the paperwork and over like stuff that has to do with becoming a military wife. And one thing that I want to say to this is it is not your responsibility as a military wife to do those things. It is the husband's responsibility. It is his job to, if he doesn't know what he's supposed to do, go to his command and ask them questions, find out things that he's supposed to do, and get on it right away. Because when he's not doing it, it causes you stress, and then because you're stressed out, you try to look up answers and stuff like that, when ultimately it is not your responsibility, it is theirs. So let them know that they need to do it as soon as possible, because it is stressing you out and you don't want to be stressed out, because again, it is their responsibility, it is not yours. The only thing that you need to do is get your military ID. And when you get your military ID, they recommend that you change your social security card first. And whenever you change your social, you're going to need your marriage license, you're going to need 2 forms of ID, and I believe that's it. Then after you change your social security card, you can go on base and get your military ID changed. I actually didn't get my social security card changed before my military ID, and they were just like, okay, we'll change it, but just make sure to get your social security card changed, which I did. So I don't know how lenient each base is, but that base let me do it, and so I got it changed. But with that said, again, women, do not stress over something that is your husband's responsibility. He needs to take responsibility for making you his wife immediately. Do not let him slack off. Tell him I'm gonna come to your house and smack him around if he slacks off. But really, it's super important that you become a military wife, especially if they're gonna leave and go on deployment or something. You need to have that in place to where you can go on base or call the people that you need if you ever need help. Because if you're not a wife, like, military honestly like doesn't care about you if you're not a part of the military or a significant other. So make sure you get that done as soon as possible. And again, wives, don't stress. Just smack around a little bit and tell them to get it done. Alright, so a little bit about my transition into a military wife. Now, again, I said that the first year that me and Connor were married, we lived apart. And so being a military wife was super weird, because I technically wasn't a military wife, or at least I didn't feel like a military wife until I actually lived with him. The first year I was in college, I was all worried about college. I wasn't like super worried about him. I mean, I loved him and like I wanted to be with him, but it wasn't like when he left it affected me, because we were already separated, you know, and so it wasn't like super hard. But then going to live with him was really stressful, because I graduated from college. The next week we had our actual official wedding, and then like a few days later I moved to San Diego. And so it was like boom, 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 you're gone. And I had to leave my family, and that was really hard. And I think like, and I've said this in many emails before, like leaving your family is one of the hardest things that I think you have to do when becoming a wife, because you've lived with them for most of your life. Especially like as women, we have like a close relationship with our parents usually, or with our moms or with our dads. And when you have that close bond, it's like you don't want to leave them. You would rather be with them than your husband in a really weird way. Even though you've been wanting to live with your husband for a really long time, it's like now that you miss your parents, and it's like this weird dynamic. And so it is really, really hard when you first leave them. But I promise you that the more you are away from them, the less you miss them. And that's hard to say because I do love my family, and I do like mentally miss my family, but I'm not sad over it. I'm not sad anymore because I've created a family here with Connor. We have Samuel, a lovely dog, and you know, we think about the future of having our own children. And so it's like he's my immediate family now, not them. And so I think after a few months I stopped missing them, like really, really missing them, and it got easier. And yeah, so just know that it will be hard at first, but it will get better, I promise. So anyways, it was like a boom, boom, boom situation. And then my sister actually drove with me and Connor to San Diego, because as soon as I got to San Diego, Connor had to leave for 2 weeks to go on an underway. So that kind of sucked, but luckily my sister came with me because we had already known that he was gonna go underway. And so my mom was like, you know, I don't want you to be alone by yourself, so here's your sister, you know. So she gave me my sister to hang out with me in San Diego. And so I kind of just like jumped right into being a military wife, which was weird because I was already a military wife, but I just didn't feel like it. And so like as soon as I moved with him, I officially felt like I'm a military wife. I'm coming in to this new home, I'm by myself, I'm not living with anyone, and my husband is gone. And I need to fend for myself at this point. And so I did. I had to learn, and luckily again my sister was there, and so she was there like while I kind of unpacked a couple things, but then she had to leave, and I think he came back before she left, and so that was nice. But it was really hard. It was really hard coming into a new home and establishing like roots in this different state. And I think one thing that I remember that really helped me like survive as a military wife was really just you guys, because at this point I had already established a YouTube channel, and it was very like baby YouTube Brittany, but still like I was making videos that you guys liked, and I was getting comments and really good feedback from them. And so it was really encouraging because I was like, okay, I'm making a difference. Like even though I'm alone in this house and sad, like there are people out there who are benefiting from my videos. And so that was kind of cool. But yeah, like transitioning into just married life in general was really weird. Actually, whenever I first moved in there, me and Connor made separate videos that were 4 things I learned about living with a woman and 4 things I learned about living with a man. And I did the man one, and then he did the woman one. And so we just like did a video over it, and it was kind of funny because his video said something like, I'm learning that women leave like hair all over the shower and like in the drain and all that. And I was like, I'm learning that men leave like underwear on the floor and they eat so much and like just stuff like that. So it was kind of fun like learning each other and learning each other's like habits and probably like annoying things that both of us do, learning those. But yeah, so I think it's like kind of funny how we as military wives like desire to be military wives so quickly, because in the military lifestyle like moves so fast. You know, you don't get to see them that often, and so you desire to marry them so that you can be with them more. But then as soon as you're married, it's like that tacks on a whole bunch of other issues of just being a military wife, and now you live with them and then they leave you, and that's even harder. But something that I would say to like encourage you and also to de-stress you a lot is you don't have to know everything. And I've said this in probably a couple videos, but I just like want to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, that you as a wife, as a military girlfriend, do not have to know everything. Like I still barely know everything about the military. And it was funny because as I'm making this video today, the government shut down, as a lot of you guys know. And I had never heard about that ever. Like I had never heard about that in my life, that the government shut down. And so I had read this morning about how because the government shut down, that means that military personnel will not get paid. And so I was like not stressed out about it, but I like asked Connor, I was like, did you hear about this, that you weren't gonna get paid? And he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, you're not worried? And he was like, it happened last year, it happened the year before, like it happens and we'll probably get paid. And so I was like, okay, like if you say so, you know? And so there are a lot of things that you can get stressed over when you're a military wife or just a military person in general. But if you allow yourself to feed into that stress, feed into that anxiety, you will just like spiral down. Because if one thing stresses you out, another thing is gonna stress you out, and then so on and so on and so on. And if you allow that to be in your life, it's not gonna be good, and you're gonna be like a stressed out military wife all the time. And so I would just encourage you to, like, if you get stressed out, have a conversation with your significant other and be like, this is stressing me out. You know, you're the one that's in the military, maybe like give me some encouragement about this issue and help me understand it more, and really just have like back-to-back conversations about certain things, because they know more than we do. And if they don't know, maybe ask them to ask someone else who may know. But just try to be like as not stressed as possible, because one, you cannot control the future, so why try to control the future? And two, stressing is just bad for your body, and we as women need to keep up this beautiful body of ours, so do not stress. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I was just kind of rambling about my life and things that I've gone through, and again, like leaving it up to their responsibility for certain things and not putting that stress on you, and just not stressing in general. And yeah, again, I don't know if this helps. I never know if my videos help. If it did help, definitely let me know in the bottom, because I totally feel like this is a video that just was a failure. But also, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I was actually asleep like 10 minutes ago. And so if you do follow me on Instagram, you can be like, oh, that's why this video sucks, because Brittany was just asleep. So yeah, anyways, definitely follow me on Instagram. Also follow me on other social media, which will be linked in the bottom. But yeah, again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I love you guys so much. I thank you for supporting this channel always, and leaving me good feedback and leaving me video suggestions, because I have those video suggestions lined up. So if you have any more suggestions, definitely let me know, and I will put them in line with the rest of them. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I love you guys so much. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.